Everyone dreams of success. Everyone wants a better life, more confidence, more respect, and more freedom. We all crave that moment when everything clicks and our lives transform. Yet, for most people, that moment never arrives. It's not because they lack talent or aren't smart enough. It's because they believe change has to be big, fast, and dramatic. They wait for a burst of motivation, for the perfect time, for some kind of miracle to fall from the sky. And while they wait, days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. Slowly, without them even realizing it, their dreams start to fade away. Let me tell you a story about a boy named Zion. He wasn't weak, but he wasn't special either. In school, he was the quiet kid who sat at the back of the class, hoping not to be noticed. His grades were perfectly average. His voice was soft, almost a whisper. Whenever the teacher asked a question, his hand would stay firmly down, even if he knew the answer. Deep inside, Zion wanted more. He dreamt of being confident, of Bengshan, of being proud of himself. But every time he thought about trying, a voice of fear would whisper in his ear, "Don't bother. You'll just fail again." He tried so many times to improve. One week, he made a grand promise to himself. He would study every single night for 3 hours. He was filled with excitement and determination. But by the 5th day, he was exhausted and overwhelmed. He quit. Another time, he decided he was going to become an early riser and wake up at 5 a.m. every morning. That ambitious habit lasted for exactly 2 mornings before he hit the snooze button and went back to his old ways. Each failure felt like a heavy stone being added to his heart, until he finally started to believe that maybe he was just meant to be ordinary. It felt stuck, and the hope he once had was starting to dim. One quiet evening, Zion was watching his mother in their small garden. She was on her knees, carefully planting tiny seeds. She gently covered each one with soil and watered them with such care and attention. He was curious. "Mom," he asked, "why do you bother so much with them? They're so tiny. Will they even grow into anything?" His mother looked up, a warm smile on her face, and replied with words that would change everything for him. She said, "Big trees don't start big, Zion. They start invisible, hidden under the ground, but they grow because someone shows up for them every single day." That sentence echoed in Zion's mind. Someone shows up for them every day. It wasn't about a single grand gesture. It was about daily presence. The next morning, something shifted in him. Instead of trying to plan a perfect life, he decided to plan a small one. He didn't promise himself hours of studying. He just sat down and studied for 10 minutes. That's it. The next day, he did 12 minutes. The day after that, 15. He stopped trying to force motivation to appear. Instead, he relied on a simple, manageable routine. He started walking for just 5 minutes a day. He read one single page of a book instead of trying to finish a whole chapter. These were small, almost insignificant steps. There was no pressure, no big announcement, just a quiet commitment to himself. Weeks went by. Nothing dramatic happened. There was no sudden breakthrough, no applause, and no one patting him on the back. From the outside, his life looked exactly the same. But inside, something profound was happening. He felt different. He was keeping the promises he made to himself. Each small action was like a vote for the person he wanted to become. He was building trust, not with others, but with himself. And that was a foundation he had never had before. After 2 months, he noticed his focus in class was sharper. He could follow the lessons without his mind wandering off. After 3 months, his body felt stronger from his daily walks. He had more energy. After 6 months, something incredible happened. His confidence started to speak before his fear could even get a word in. When a teacher asked a question, his hand went up without him even thinking about it. His friends started to notice a change in him. Teachers noticed his improved participation and better grades. But most importantly, Zion noticed himself. He looked in the mirror and saw a person who was no longer defined by his past failures, but by his present efforts. At the end of the school year, his class was assigned a final presentation. In the past, this would have been his worst nightmare. But this time was different. When Zion stood up in front of everyone, his hands didn't shake. His voice didn't break or tremble. He looked out at his classmates, and he smiled not because he was perfect or because he had become a genius overnight, but because he was living proof of something powerful. He was proof that success doesn't need explosions or fireworks. It needs consistency. It needs you to just show up, day after day. So if you feel stuck today, if you feel like you're not making progress, I want you to stop chasing a huge, life-altering transformation. Instead, I want you to chase a small win, just one. Read one page. Take one step. Meditate for 1 minute. Keep one small promise to yourself. Don't worry about tomorrow or next week. Just focus on today. Because these small actions, when they are repeated daily, do more than just change your habits. They fundamentally change your identity. You stop being the person who tries and fails, and you become the person who shows up and does. And then one day, you'll look back and realize something amazing. You didn't become great overnight. You became better every single day. The journey to your best self isn't a sprint. It's a marathon made of tiny, consistent steps. Start yours today. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content to help you on your journey. See you next time.